Shoot. Come on, where's the sound? Oh.
Welcome to the Joy of Coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 190 of The Joy of Coding. My name's Mike Conley. Sorry for the little foul up there at the beginning. I should have made sure that Wacky Morning DJ was ready to play some stuff. Hold on, let's just... yeah, alright, it's ready now. Hello, welcome to the stream. Where's my drink? Hold on, I put it over there. Let me go grab it. Welcome to the stream. It's episode 190. It's September 25th, 2019. So glad to have you here. Going to be hacking on some Firefoxy things today. Let's get started. No further ado. Let's get cracking. So let me just change my screen here. Wonderbar. So this is the agenda. Quick reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I start every stream saying that, and it's important because what I want you to know is that none of this stream is like pre-scripted or pre-planned beyond just a vague outline of stuff I want to cover. So I'm speaking off the cuff. I don't have the solutions or any of the patches that I might write pre-written. I'm going to be thinking as I go. And that means I might run into problems. I might get stuck, get sidelined. Who knows? We're capturing software development in the raw. It's realistic, and that's the idea. So don't stress out if things go wrong. It's all part of the plan, in that there is no plan. So that's one thing. The second thing is the agenda. We are looking at the day's agenda right now, and if you are new to the stream, you might not know where you can get a copy of this agenda so that you can click on the links and follow along. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the video description down below. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, check out the handout section to my left, your right. And if you're watching this on Twitch, then I'm going to drop a link into the Twitch chat once I figure out how to get that open. There it is. I forgot I didn't have it open. So let me just drop it into the Twitch chat now. Agenda. Cool. So that's the agenda. There is an episode guide as well. So if you're, if maybe you're someone who likes to know what happened in a previous stream, but you don't want to watch it necessarily, you can read the episode guide and figure out what happened, what was covered, just vague outlines. It also has links to the agenda and the episode itself on Air Mozilla and all sorts of stuff. So the episode guide is completely viewer driven. The idea came from a viewer. A lot of these episode guides, all of these episode guides rather, are written by viewers just like you. And so if you would like to contribute, you can. In the agenda here, there are links on how you can send a pull request to the repository if you want to add your own notes, addenda, corrections, maybe you want to expand on some point or add some detail. The episode guide is for you, the viewers. So figure out what it is that would be useful and add it to the guide. An example, here's episode 188. Last week, or no, the week before last rather, or maybe there's a little bit of a gap. But anyway, the beginning of September, here's the link to the Air Mozilla episode and the Evernote agenda, and then sort of a breakdown of the topics I covered, and maybe some of the other useful links that might be interesting. So one of the things that I noticed is that there is a pull request in the repository right now, and I want to check it out. Smurf D, ever reliable Smurf D, has submitted a pull request. There's apparently the security alert is not for the actual website; it's for the ADZO transcription thing. Don't worry about it. The episode 189 was sent in by Smurf D 21 hours ago. Let's take a look, and maybe we can merge this in right now. Smurf D, I love your new avatar. So good. That's great. So yes, episode 189, that was the correct date. One of the things I like to do whenever I review these things is make sure that the links are correct. So we're going to make sure that this is episode 189. It is, and then make sure that the Evernote agenda is pointing at the right episode. It is. That's lovely. And then one of the things that we covered the replacement of IRC, and I started to do a performance analysis for Fluent. Great. This looks great. Let us merge this in. I'm happy with it. Thanks so much, Smurf D. Always thank your contributor. Boom. So that's now part of the episode guide. I also want to and Smurf D is in Twitch. You're the best, and I love your new avatar. I want to bring up that there is a live hacking channel now in the Riot/Matrix instance that Mozilla is using. If we go back to that, let's go back to the episode guide for a second here, and go to episode 189 or 188, and I talk about the various. Oh, hang on. Sorry, no, it was the most recent episode guide, the one that we just added, has links to the test servers that we're using for our IRC replacement. Mouth exercises. I need to do more mouth exercises. Anyways, there is a link to something I'm logged into called Matrix / Riot. It's the Riot client connecting to a Matrix server, or a server that speaks Matrix, rather. Matrix is a protocol. And if you want to join me there, I am in a channel called Live Hacking. There's one other person in there. Danny Colin is in this room. He helped me figure out why the room wasn't easy to find last week. Now it is hopefully easier to find. So come and join me there if you want to help me test it out and see if it would work for communication during live hacking. So go to the link here in the you know what? I'll actually link. I'll put it in the agenda itself. Come join me on the temporary Matrix instance that Mozilla is testing. So this test will only go on for a couple more weeks, and then they're going to tear the whole thing down, and then we'll make a decision on which one we're going to go with. But if you want to help me test, this is the server that you can use. You can use like a dedicated client, like an application called Riot that you can download. It's basically an Electron app that you can run on your desktop, or you can like log in with your browser. And I am in, we're in the live hacking channel. Okay, so what did I want to do today for actual programming stuff? I wanted to work on some picture-in-picture stuff. In particular, two things. Where's the close player video? Yeah. I want to try and address this bug today. And I also want to help someone else out. So I am one of several people who are working with some students. Oh man, come on. We're working with some students on trying to make various parts of Firefox fission compliant or fission compatible. Fission being the subframes running in their own processes. So like out of process iframes Firefox. That's called the Fission project. And there's a whole bunch of work that's required in order to migrate the browser components over to be fission compliant. And so we've found some lower priority projects or lower priority components that can be ported to be fission compliant. One of those lower priority components is actually picture-in-picture, because it's broken down really into two what are called actors that, and one of them is quite simple. The other one's a little more complex, but I think within the confines of this course, which is one semester long, I think Tasia, who is the one working on the patch to port to be fission compliant, should be possible. But Tasia has run into a problem. Oh, hello, people are joining the Matrix chat. Hello. So we have a third chat room now. Hello. So we've got, the live hacking IRC channel, we've got the live hacking Matrix channel, and we've got the Twitch chat. Gonna want to converge at some point. I'm pretty sure there is a way, someone linked me to this a couple weeks ago and I never really looked into it, but a way of bridging Twitch chat with Matrix. So in future, it might be possible to somehow bridge all of the chat into a single place so that I don't have to keep hopping around. I can see all the chat in one place. That might be nice. So what's the problem that Tasia's running into? Well, let's go take a look. MSU picture. What is it? Where's the bug? It's not this one, but this one is this is another bug that a student's working on, and yeah, picture-in-picture child. This is the bug. And 5 days ago, Tasia updated the bug with his most recent patch, And what I want to do is I actually want to apply this patch and see what's going wrong. As I understand it, part of the problem is that a load event that we expect to fire is not firing. So where am I? What's going on? Let's take a look. Let me pump up the font a little bit here. I've got central checked out. What kind of build am I on right now? I'm using a default build. I'm gonna check out or apply the patch from Tasia here. So that's mozfab patch. I give it the ID, and I'm going to say apply to here, which means don't apply it onto the revision that the patch was originally based on, but apply it to where I am in the tree right now, because I don't want to have to do like a massive rebuild. So we're going to check this out. To get a sense of what Tasia's doing, or where Tasia's stuck, I believe it's down, where is it? In picture-in-picture child. Something to do with how, oh man. Okay, well a bunch of, so this actor, okay, I need to apply some review feedback. This actor is not gonna work out. He's started to port, I think he took my advice a little too far. I gave him some advice on how to convert one of the actors, and he applied it to the other actor, which he hasn't actually started to port yet. It still extends the old actor child instead of JS window actor child. So he probably needs to revert these changes for now. I can maybe do that manually. This is the one that he's actually supposed to be porting right now, and the one that we can take a look at. I believe part of the problem is there's a function called setup player. Yeah, and he's not getting the load event to fire when he expects it to fire. So, oh, there are uncommitted changes. What are the uncommitted changes? Oh, right, some diagnostic stuff I did. Revert, don't need it. Okay, now apply the patch. Okay, well, while we're waiting for that, I'll kick off a build as well. And that should not take long. But I will do mock build, and then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna give Tasia some review feedback. Hey, all right. This is the nick that Tasia is using. Hey, Fabricator Nick. It looks like you're converting some lines inside of picture-in-picture toggle child to use things like content window, but picture-in-picture toggle child is still inheriting from actor child, which doesn't have this .content window. How I suggest its actor child is still the old mechanism, message manager mechanism, still using the old message manager mechanism and has access to this .content. How I suggest you proceed, however, you might take this, you might immediately, how I suggest you proceed. Undo the changes to picture-in-picture child, toggle child, and focus solely on picture-in-picture child. We can, actually, I'm not going to count these out, is to undo the changes undo the changes to picture-in-picture toggle child and focus solely on picture-in-picture child. We can try converting picture-in-picture toggle child in a separate patch, but focusing on picture-in-picture child should be easier to start with because it's smaller and also less likely to change, and over time, over the next few weeks. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. It's easier because it's smaller and simpler. So there's a piece of feedback there. This build is done, so we can actually start messing around with this. I might actually manually undo those changes right now. So some extra new line there, I don't need it, but he switched from content to content window. So that's an easy find and replace. We're just going to replace all of the instances of this .content window with this .content. Let's see, find, replace. And we'll do this until we reach the bottom of the class, at which point we can stop. Okay, so now we are inside picture-in-picture child, I think, right? Track originating window setup. Yeah. Hang on. Close, receive, track originating video, untrack originating video. Okay, that's right. Okay, so we are we've undone those changes. Let's take a quick peek at the diff. Yeah. That looks right. And then comparing it to what Tasia had written, was there any other changes he made? It doesn't. There's like a style one here. Got another style one. Here. This will also need to be reverted to this .mm. Send async message for now. Okay, so that was the last one, the context menu thing. So let me fix that. Were there any other send async messages that picture? No. Okay, so that was the only message that it came up from here. Okay, great. So far, so good. Daily Colon is waving inside of the live hacking channel. Who do we have here? We've got Jonathan Hans, Nicholas Bowman, Danny Colon, and M. Conley. Glad to have you here, folks. So glad to have you. I'm gonna play y'all a sound. Let's see. What sound should I commemorate the gathering inside the Matrix channel with? I wish I had a sound for the Matrix, like it was maybe the sound of the letters going up the screen, or a quote from the Matrix. Whoa, or something. There, I'll just do my best Keanu Reeves impression. Whoa. There it is. No way. This is crazy. There. So let's build this. a look. I expect this to be fully broken. But let's start with the basics. We'll go to an HTML video player. Yeah, I used the Big Buck Bunny video on this site as an example. We don't need the toggle just yet, but let's use the context menu. And so this is the problem. I think this is the problem. We did get the window to open up, but the contents are not displaying the actual cloned video. We never reached that part for cloning the video. And it's complaining. There's a complaint here, line 913. So that's my first instinct, is take a look at the error message. This.addEventListener is not a function. Right, and that's something I mentioned in one of my earlier reviews. So this patch might not be fully up to date with what Tasia was doing. Add event listener. Load. So originally we were doing like this.mm add event listener. So what's the difference? When you listen to the message manager event listener, it's probably different from whenever you want to listen to the actual loading of a document. Want the outer window. So originally I think my suggestion was to use this.contentWindow.addEventListener load. But Tasia said that this did not work. But let's find out. And then we will double check. So no more error, but it doesn't look like we're showing the, oh, and now it won't come up. That's not great. Can I try again? Yeah, okay, good. So I'm gonna reload, and then I'm gonna attach a debugger, the browser content toolbox, and see where we got to. Oh, there were some errors in here, but they look unrelated. DevTools things. All right, let's pump up the font, and we're gonna go inside picture and picture child. Let's get some space here, and we are gonna go to where I added content window, add event listener load. We're gonna set a breakpoint here, and okay. Now, presumably what's happening is we never get to here, 921. That's my guess. Let's double check. Yes, so this load event is never firing. Why did I guess that? Well, because the cloning actually, like once you're here, the clone is gonna happen. Like it happens here synchronously. So the only place where we would have waited, but the only place where we would have waited is here, unless we were awaiting here, but this was originally the place that I think Tasia had identified the bug. So effectively, I'm just confirming the stuff that Tasia had found, which is fine. It's just good to double check stuff and make sure it works the way you think it does. So now the question is, how come the load event listener is not firing on the content window? So right now we have, do we have a content window? This.content window. Oh, we don't. We do not have a content window. This dot, what do we have? This dot browsing context? So what are we right now? We are a JS window actor child with a null manager. Aha. Well, that sort of explains it. I think I've seen this bug before. So the reason why we can't add an event listener is like it's never getting added. We await a promise that never resolves because this .content window it doesn't exist, it's undefined, and so add event listener is undefined. All of this just explodes, and so our resolve method is never called. Okay, why? That's the next question. And I think it's all related to how like the setup player function is called. When we receive a message, setup player, so we've received this message, and at this point, if I remember correctly, this is the JS window actor child, and our manager is null. So at the point of receiving the message, our manager is null. That is a problem, because we need all that stuff. It's like we need to know, we need to have access to the window. So there's the problem. Let's take a look at player.js, which sends that setup player message. Setup player. Current window. We load about blank. We say setup player. This reminds me of a bug I saw go by about window global parent. Synchronously create window global parent for initial about blank document. Act during normal p browse construction, create initial window global active for pop-up browse construction. Remove unused arguments used for to create initial. So like, how can this be used? Is there any JavaScript I can base this off of? Content viewer. So what's going on is I'm pretty sure the message to set up the player is coming down and it's too early. Like, we're at the point when we receive the message on the other side, we're still like, we haven't even finished loading about blank, or we haven't reached the point where we've finished setting up the actor. I wonder if we like send a dummy message. What happens if we send a dummy message first to force the other side to have been constructed? Will that change things? Whoop. It doesn't look like it. Let's do that again. I'm gonna reload. Oh, did my breakpoints all get cleared? Cool, 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 cool. So let's go and set a breakpoint here. Let's try this again. Oh, at this point, so hang on, this dot manager, oh, is still null. Web progress is loading document is false. So I guess maybe at this point, why is our manager null? Just prototype. This dot manager, this dot browsing context, all of it's probably going to be null. This dot doc shell, this dot document, this dot, yeah, all of the stuff that we would normally associate with the JS window actor child does not exist yet. So let's see whether or not we can wait for that stuff to show up. Let's try something else. In the parent, instead of sending this dummy message, or after we send this dummy message, let us wait. Await new promise resolve. Set timeout. Let's wait 5 seconds. That's a long time. Because what we might have here is a JS window actor bug that we need to file with the DOM team and get this sorted out. So I'm going to wait a full 5 seconds before sending down the message. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. And that window came up immediately. Oh, I guess, oh, yeah, of course it came up immediately. Because this is that window, this little window is what's running this code, so that doesn't surprise me. But we never showed up on the other side. Await is only valid in async functions and async generators. That's the problem. Okay, fair enough. Let's make this an async function. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, picture in picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. But we get that invalid state bug again on, but this time in player.js in line 98. So it's saying that an attempt was made. I wonder if somehow by calling load URI, there's like a race here where we send a message to load the URI, then we send this message, and so like the actor is being like, an actor was constructed for the initial content viewer, and then somehow it's getting invalidated by this load. Maybe we don't actually need to do this. Like if I set the initial source to be about blank and get rid of this, then what happens? My thinking being that like pointing it at about blank causes us to like throw away, like, because normally when you transition from one page to another, we'll throw away the actors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. And again, it complains about an object no longer being good enough. How come? What? All right, let's put that back. But now I'm going to do an experiment. And I'm going to shorten the wait because I don't think it needs to be that long. Let's put in 2 breakpoints. Reddit-do.
It's me, Mario.
This time we're going to attach a debugger in the parent process because that's where player.js runs. Okay, So here's our hold on. There's a question in the live hacking IRC channel, which is, what's the value of this and browser after browser.remove? So this in which context? Inside player.js? If the answer is yeah, if you're asking what the context is of this in here, then this is this object, top level object called player. It's just like a global inside the window scope of the picture-in-picture player window. And then what is browser after you remove it? Well, let's take a look. We can actually answer these questions right now. I've hit a breakpoint here. I can show you that this is an object. It's called player, but it's just describing it as an object right now. And then after we've removed the original browser, right, we do this old school, like, remove the browser from the element, or from the window, and then update its attributes, and then put it back into the DOM. So browser.browsing context. Can I even access that right now? Frame loader is null. So there. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the browsing context. Its ID is 14. And now we load that thing. All right. Now what is the browsing context? Still ID is 14. And then let's wait for 2 seconds. Now we're here. The ID is 14. This dot actor, JS window actor dot browsing context. ID is 14. And what's the problem? Shouldn't I be able to like send this message there? And it did the clone. Interesting. Interesting. So we do have some kind of race here. Because now like it's working. Oh, this .m, right. Play, pause. That's gonna need some work. That's gonna need some love. So we have some kind of race here. Where is the race? I thought it was here, but it might actually be further away. Let's put in some more weights. I'll put a weight here, put a weight here, and a weight here. And I'm gonna reduce the amount of time that we're waiting. We're gonna see if this fixes the issue, and then we're gonna figure out where the race is. Hopefully that answered your question, MCIer. I'm not sure if it did. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have identified that there is a race. That's good. Now let's get rid of some of these weights. I'm gonna get rid of this last one. We're gonna work our way up. Get rid of these debuggers as well. Won't need them. So we've gotten rid of the last one. I actually don't know if I need to rebuild each time. I actually don't think I do. So maybe I'm just wasting time. 2, 3. Okay, that one worked. So now I'm gonna get rid of that one. But I am gonna rebuild just in case. Just in case. So paranoid. I'm really caffeinated right now. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. All right, 1, 2. Aha! That one's broken. Okay, so this one seemed to help. Let's try an experiment where we get rid of these two and we put this one back. Yes. Yes. That works. So the loading of about blank here is part of the problem. Here, you know what I'm gonna do? Dump browsing context ID. Browsing context.id. I'm gonna just boom, boom, boom. Let's see if it got swapped out at some point. This is another opportunity to see, like, I'm not going to build, I'm going to see if it just knows to do that. And if it does, then we don't need to build anymore. Okay, turns out we do need to build. Luckily, I was building each time. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sometimes you need to build, sometimes you don't. It's very frustrating. Something symlinks. So the browsing contexts don't change. Do the current window globals change? Here's what I'll do next. I'll get the actor. Let actor, first actor, and then after the wait, second actor. And then don't need the IDs anymore. Answer that question. We're going to see if they are the same actors. Dump same actors in Terrobang. Second actor equals first actor. Same actors? False. False. So we got a different actor between here and here. Okay, that's very interesting. So let current window, let first window global equal browser browsing context dot current window global, and then let second window global equal browser browsing context dot current window global. Same actors, they won't be, but I'm going to put a debugger there. Let's get this to build. SmurfD is also like, it's also also knowing if using build faster is good enough or if you need build. Now that is a thing I can answer. You need build faster if you are changing JavaScript, CSS, HTML, or Zool. Or you only need to use mock build faster. Mock build builds everything. Mock build faster repackages all of our like script and markup and CSS. You need mock build binaries if you're building any C++ or Rust stuff, any native stuff that actually needs to hit a compiler. So if you've only changed JavaScript or some markup or some theme stuff, you should use mock build faster. If you've changed some C++ or Rust, you should use mock build binaries. And if you're not sure, you should use mock build because it will do actually both steps. Mock build will do mock build binaries and then mock build faster internally. So hopefully that answers that question. SmurfD is like, aha! Brain explosion. Shit, sorry. Sorry for swearing. I'm getting all excited. Let me reload and attach my debugger. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to debugger up. Okay. So what is the first window global? That's this. And then what's the second window global? Aha, and the first one is running in the parent process. There's no OSP ID. Is closed, is in process, false. Is current global. All of these things. Is current global. Inner window, outer window, 35. The inner window ID. So this is like the initial about blank. Content parent ID. It hasn't even been like assigned a content process yet at this point. So let's take a look. Process is frame loader. We append child. I wonder if there is a better way of doing this now. Frame loaders have this. There's this API. Like a lot of this was written a while ago, like almost 8 months ago. And since then, because of Fission, we have better APIs for switching remoteness or switching the state of a frame loader. What was I doing before? Frame crash. And what we were doing before... Where was it? We needed this. Which needed... So subframe, what we would do is like, we'd call iframe change remoteness. Iframe change remoteness. Change remoteness. That was the API. It's change remoteness. Is that like a web IDL thing? Yeah. You can say change remoteness. You can pass remoteness options. And that includes the remote type. Used to resume a given channel node within the present. Replace browsing context is false. So you can't actually say like same process as frame loader. Is there another good like example of? I don't think there is. So yeah, there's not really a great way of doing this just yet because we have to make sure that the opened browser loads in the same content process as the origin of the tab, effectively. And that's going to be a problem for making this Fission compatible. Just because you move something over to JS Window Actors does not necessarily mean it's Fission compatible. We don't, I think, currently have a way of expressing that we want a thing to load in the same process. Remoteness options. This would be like a place to put that. Remoteness options. Removed some fields recently. What did they remove? Unused fields. They removed. What did they remove? Maybe we need that stuff. Maybe we could have used it. Change remoteness. Same process as frame loader. Oh, we could have used that. Oh man. Oh man. We could have used that. Why was it removed? This patch changed a few things about how this frame loader is created, specifically about the change remoteness API. Constructor has been simplified. Change remoteness is a change recreate. The unused fields are removed. So why? Because we could have used that 13 days ago. Oh well. I guess for now we'll do it this way, but ultimately what we should probably do, like what was it using for the API as frame loader, same process as frame loader. We want to be able to say like open in the same process as this browsing context as opposed to a frame loader, I guess. Okay, this will do for now. We'll have to do. So back to our original problem. The second, the window global changes because of this load here, I believe. We do a load, we change the triggering principle. Now what happens if we just don't do this? If we don't load, like, isn't there like a pre-built about blank just by virtue of it having... I don't think this is going to help actually. But let's see. I don't think it's going to help because I think yeah, that didn't help. Oh, it does have the same actors, but interesting. But the principle. Do this like window in open UI in frame. Not really. Okay. Just load URI. And effectively what we have to do now is wait until this load is done. That's the problem. We need to wait until the current window global has changed. When do we know? When will that have happened? Current window global. Workaround where about blank is loaded in a tab. What we do is we keep working around this. What is this? synchronously create window global parent for initial. So that currently window global actors are always created in the content process, which means that a browsing context may exist but not have a window global yet. We should create a window global actor for the initial about blank document synchronously upon attaching the remote process if possible. So the actor will be created from the parent, not the child, meaning the special case will need to be added for the initial about blank. What if principal set attribute principal? Aha! You can set a oh. How do you declaratively source? It's about blank. If we don't do this, are they the same actors? I'm just experimenting with stuff. I don't actually have the answer yet, but I'm hoping that we can take advantage of the work that was done in whatever it was, this bug, so that we don't have to do anything really hacky to like wait for the window global. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Now, were they the same actors? They were not. So even though could it be because of this? This is not going to work because they're not going to be in the same process, but let's see if the same actors becomes true after the wait. False. Okay, so not much help there. How do we wait until the current window global has been updated? Oh, didn't mean to bookmark this page. Remove bookmark. Current window global. Do we like fire an event or something when this thing gets updated? Set current window global. Doesn't look like we fire an event. Receive become current window global. Init. If there's no current window global, assume we're about to become it optimistically. If there's no current window global, we'll assume it's us. Document URI. Then we say window global created. Like, I really don't want to have to wait for that. So we insert this browser, and then it creates a current window global immediately, and then recycles it immediately. Is it because of this same process as frame loader? Why Why does it recycle it? Let's add some logging. Optimistically setting self as current window global. On newly created browsing context. Browsing context. Get ID. Can we? And browsing context. How do we get that ID? ID? Yeah, ID. Browsing context. Context. And then, when is that? M current window global equals a global happens here and set current window global. Inside canonical browsing context. Window global equals a global. And that's called from window global parent receive become current window global. So I actually want to do it over here. Become current window global. Printf win global parent x for is becoming current window global on browsing context. And then browsing context ID. And where was the current window global parent x? So we need to pass in this, and then where was the other one? This. Okay, let's build this. So notice I'm using mock build binaries now because I changed some native code. Smurfd's like, use some other page other than about blank or don't load anything. The problem is we have to load a document inside of the player window in order to inject the video element that is cloning the original video. So we actually have to load a document. Now it doesn't have to be about blank, but that one, about blank, tends to have the fewest privileges. But even if we were to load a special other type of window or a special other type of document, I think it would still have the same problem. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Optimistically setting self as current window global 12. And then it becomes current window global on browser context 12. And then a new browser context got create 13. This one becomes it on browsing context. And on 13 and 14, 2190. Where's window global parent 9190 becomes current window global on browsing context 13. So what is the browsing window context on the player window right now? Let's find out. Document.get element by ID browser. Browsing context. ID. 14. It was 14. So yeah, it gets overwritten right here. This and then this. This and then this. Because something sends is becoming Not optimistically on 14. Oh, yeah, 920. Optimistically saying self. So originally we have the right one, and then it gets overwritten. Something sends send become current window global. Because a new document is loaded. Current window. The inner window swaps out. The inner window swaps out. Why? Why? Set new documents called. What was the old document? A document, M document principal. Old doc is M doc. Make sure that they're not the same thing. So let's do something. I don't know if this is going to work because this is not a debug build. But let us attach LLDB sudo LLDB we're going to attach it to 24682. Right, and now I'm going to break on, well, do we have symbols? I think we should. Yes, we do. We're going to break on global window outer set new document. So this is an opt build, so things are going to be a little bumpy. But I'm going to say do that. Okay. So we're setting a new document, and how does this occur? Dump.js stack. Is there any JS on the stack? Think about it. It's really thinking about it. There is no JS on the stack. Okay. What is our mdoc? Nothing. There's no document. And what is the document that's coming in? It's an HTML document. And what properties does it possess? All sorts of stuff. But I'm looking for maybe the URI, m document URI, document state. It's interesting. Load group, document URI, m document URI, m original URI and m document URI. Let's look at m document URI. Okay, let us take a look. Oh. Look up symbols. Come on. It's an NSI URI. Can I? Cast type. Are you sure you can't do that? All right. How about was it standard URL or standard URL? Net is on a network. A standard URL. Can we do that way? Whoops. Need to be in here. No. How about ns about URL? Is that right? ns about URL? No, that's not right. Well, it can't convert it. So what do we know about this thing? Oh, you know what? I should just be casting the raw pointer. Raw pointer. mraw. Okay. SIURI. There, yeah, okay. So we have access to the actual memory location, net, ns nested, about URI. I can already tell you this is going to be about blank. Yeah, it's about blank. So that's the old document. Or no, that's the new document we're about to load. Okay. Browsing context 17. Browser.browsing context ID is 17. So for 17, we optimistically set this current window global parent on the parent side. And then we say, hey, we're loading this document about blank. And then we hit it again. Optimistically. So the initial about blank has been loaded. And then we hit this breakpoint. Or yeah, we hit this breakpoint again. We're loading a new document. What is that? This memory address. Is this also? It's also about blank. So we load about blank again, and that causes us to swap out the current window global. Okay. So we initially had the right current window global. On mdocument, document.h, can we take a look at the principles? Because that's what's different, or one of the things that's different is we say what the triggering principle is right here. I commented this part out. Why are we loading this URI? Why are we doing that? Because unknown. Set up new viewer. Triggering principal. Node principal. Get principal is node principal. Node info document principal. Principal. Okay, so let's get at the document's node principal. The original one, PM doc. This is the old one, and this is the new one. They are definitely different documents. One is, okay, so let's take a look at their node principal. Doc. What? Okay, NS HTML document. Come on. All right, mdoc. What are you? pmdoc. You are one of these things. So p Mozilla DOM document star. Come on. Okay, and we are an HTML document. Do you have node principal? Node principal. All right, can I call get principal? Get principal. Member reference type long is not a pointer. We have something called mnode info. Oh, there it is. Mnode info. SI node. Mnode info. Okay. So what is a node info? Node info is a Mozilla DOM node info. Okay. Node info, can I call node info manager? Oh man, node info manager. Come on. Node info manager. Owner manager. Fine. Owner manager. Here's the raw pointer. What type is a node info manager? Is an NS node info manager. Okay. Bunch of gunk. Principal. There it is. P. NSI principal. It's the null principle. It starts with the null principle. It has no principle. Okay, and what about our new document? A document. Can I call node principal on that? Principal. Okay. So what did I do before? I got the node info off of the document. Where is it? Node info. Manager. Node info manager. Where's our principal? There it is. Okay. What kind of principal is in the new document? Null principal. They also are loading a null principal. How come we are loading another document? Why are we loading another document? Why are we loading this document? I need some notes. It's time to create a note. Stack when creating second window global child. Here it is. What's the stack when we create the first one? So continue. Play. Okay, so let's do this all over again. Oh, man, did not mean to do that. Detach. Attach onto a new process 25500. Breakpoint. Break list. Yeah, okay. So let us do this again. So here's the first one. Set new document. Here's the first stack. Stack when creating first window global child. We receive the instruction to construct the browser, and then we create an about blank content viewer, and so that sets up the new viewer. And then eventually we create a content viewer for about blank again. Set a new document. content, document open, info, start a request. Let's double check that that's actually what happens. 14. Right, and it's 14, that's right. And then continue. Yep, that's fine. And then we hit here, and it's this stack for the second one. When we decide to create a content viewer and we decide to set up a new viewer for doc shell, let me copy this in actually to replace the one I've already got, because now the memory addresses will. So like doc shell, create content viewer for actor. This is, so the doc shell is 12500E000. It's the same doc shell, but it throws away its content viewer and creates a new one. Why? Create content viewer. Why would we reuse the content viewer if there's a base channel, and the base channel is an existing JPEG request? Okay, so no. Otherwise, we create a content viewer. What caused this load to occur? Document on input stream ready.
Yeah, we would need to like add a message which is like prompt and rotate. I think we probably have that implemented somewhere, but it's not plugged into recursion before.
What is going on? CHLP knows in the Twitch chat asks, "Hello, do you play PC games as well, or just work?" So this channel, I mostly work. During sometimes I play video games, but I don't stream myself playing video games. I do like point-and-click adventure games from the 90s. They're not very exciting. I know people on Twitch like to watch really sort of kinetic, exciting video games, Borderlands, Fortnite, or some newfangled shooter stuff. I am a fan of like LucasArts point-and-click adventure games. I'm not sure if there's a market for me streaming myself playing those, but if there is, who knows? Maybe I'll start doing that someday. So this is the mystery. Like, why did the second load occur? Because it's causing us to throw away the old Window Global child, create a new one, and that's really mysterious. I think what I'm gonna need to do actually. So hang on, let me write down what I've got. Let me pump up the font a little so you can read what I'm gonna write. So this second load causes us to throw away the original content viewer, which means that a new Window Global child gets created, and then a message is sent to the parent to swap out the original Window Global parent for a new one. Why? Why does that second load occur even after I get rid of the browser.load URI call inside of player.js? To answer this question, I probably should use RR. Okay, so I'm gonna try and figure that out, but I don't think I'll be able to do it on the stream because I am out of time. It's 2:34 Eastern. So keep your eyes on the conversation. If you're curious about what's going on, keep your eye on this bug, bug 1576915. I'll put, do I already have a link? Yeah, put a link to it here. And in particular, the conversation might happen in the code review. So I'll put a link to that as well. Code review. So if you're curious about what I end up finding, it'll be in here. So I'll hit save. If you reload the agenda, that should have the latest stuff. Hey, okay. I've started, so I've been digging into this. It looks like at least part of the problem is that we send a message to setup player. We send a setup player message at a point where to one actor, window global child parent pair, but then the content process that loads the player about blank document causes the parent to create a new window global parent, which means that the old one is no longer sufficient for message, which means that the old one can't be messaged. Or the old one that we're holding a reference to via this.actor isn't the one we should be messaging. I'm still trying to figure out why we create that second window global parent actor pairing, or window global parent, even if I remove the call to browser.load URI inside of player.js. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. This is draft revision that will not publish any notifications until the author requests review. Interest will not be notified. Okay, so let's call it here. Thank you so much for watching episode 190 of The Joy of Coding. I hope that was interesting. I certainly, like, maybe you found, probably the most exciting part was being deep in the plumbing of LLDB and debugging and using memory addresses. That was pretty exciting. If you have any feedback about the stream, maybe stuff you want to see more of, maybe ideas on what I can do for episode 200, which is only 10 episodes away, let me know. There's a form here in the agenda to rate the episode. Give me your thoughts. I'll happily read everything that comes in, and I'll use your feedback to help improve the stream. So with that, I think I'm going to call it here. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have yourselves a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. See ya.